guys, it's the 4th of April and it's a special day here. It's Maya's 6th birthday and she's requested that we make her a peanut butter cheesecake. So we're just going to run through the ingredients. We are going to need some biscuits for the base. You can use graham crackers as an alternative, especially here in Canada. But I found these digestives work better, and the ingredients are better in these as well. I don't like some of the ingredients in the graham crackers. So we have those. We need some cream cheese and some powdered sugar. Now this sugar isn't powdered, but I'll put it through the baby bullet for that purpose. We need some butter for the biscuit base, some smooth peanut butter, and I like to use organic peanut butter, some cream, and some good quality dark chocolate. Again, we go for the organic dark chocolate and it's 70% cocoa, and that works really well. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to get a biscuit base put together into our cake tin. And I like to use a tall cake tin because the cheesecake is actually quite full in here. It's not a skinny little cheesecake, it's quite a thick cheesecake. So all I'm going to do now is I'm just going to whiz up my biscuits and we will put them in the pan with the butter to create a biscuit base. I won't film me whizzing up these just because it makes a racket in the processor. So I will bring you back when that part's done. I have melted the butter in the pan, and I also whizzed up the biscuits to a fine powder. Just make sure when you do this that there isn't any lumps of biscuit in there, because that just makes it a little bit awkward to cut the cheesecake at the end. So easy peasy, all we're going to do is throw our biscuit, ground biscuits into the butter. Like so, and make sure that all of the biscuits covered in the butter, because you know, you don't want to cut your cheesecake and the base all falls to pieces because you've missed you know, bits in there. I always find sometimes, depending on what you use, whether it's the digestives or the graham crackers, sometimes you need a little bit more butter, so I tend to add a little bit more in the first place so you're not toing and froing all the time with it. And actually this is just about right. All of the ingredients and quantities I will put down below for you, so you can make it for yourself. And that's just about done now. We just still have a few little bits to the side that just need a little bit of more of a mix. And what you're looking for is it sticks together. If it's too dry, it won't cut. And if you have too much butter in there, I find that it's really hard to cut. It kind of goes like a big brick. So you kind of have to, you know, depending on what biscuits you use, juggle the amount of butter a little bit. But as I say, I'll put that down in the description. So all we're going to do now is take our pan and dump our biscuits in the base, and as always make sure we don't leave any behind, at least not want them. So I'll just scrape all of that out there and get rid of the pan, and then we just simply use the back of the spoon just to push down the base firm into the bottom. It has to be compacted. As I say, you want it to cut nicely and not fall apart on you.
What are you making?
We're doing the biscuit base, Maya, for your cheesecake, for your birthday cheesecake. Because you wanted peanut butter cheesecake, didn't you? Yeah. So we just push the base around just till we get it fairly even. Doesn't matter if it rides up the sides a little bit, we're just looking for you know, a nice even covering on the base there. And here's the birthday girl. I don't know if you can see her. How old are you today?
6.
She's 6 today. What a big girl. Time sure flies, folks. Cherish every single moment you have. Really, really flies. Anyway, so that's about done. So we're gonna let this cool down. It's a little bit warm to go in the fridge right now, but I'll leave it on the countertop here. Let it cool down, and then we need to put the filling together. So we will see you then. Okay, our cheesecake base is pretty much chilled in the fridge. And to spare your ears, I took the liberty of whizzing up our cream cheese. Now, a good tip here is to make sure that your cream cheese is at room temperature. If you try and whip it when it's just come out the fridge, it's like whipping 2 bricks in a bowl. And it will take you a really long time to break it down. And you have to have it really creamy and light. If it's not creamy and light and you add in your other ingredients, you will find lumps of cream cheese throughout the mix, which isn't very nice on the palate. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to throw in the rest of the ingredients. So I have my powdered sugar, and I did this in the baby bullet. If you're making your own powdered sugar, make sure you whiz it up enough that when you taste it, it's not gritty, and there's no, sugar lumps in there, because again, that's not really very nice for the palate when you eat your cheesecake. So we're going to go ahead and dump in the sugar. And it's a really easy recipe. It's a no-bake cheesecake, and it's just really easy to put together in no time. So we're going to go in with our peanut butter. And once you have all of these ingredients in, I would suggest that you taste it. I actually use less sugar than some folk would, so you may find you need to add a little bit more sugar. Just adjust it to your taste. So there goes the peanut butter and the cream. Pour that in. So you really just chuck everything in the mixing bowl. Now I am using a beater to blend this together. You can do it by hand, but a beater does a much better job of combining all the ingredients up. So again, I'm going to spare your ears, and I'm going to get this all whizzed up, and then we'll take a look. The ingredients are all mixed up thoroughly now, and as you can see, we have a rather scrumptious looking peanut butter filling. And all we need to do now, again, is really, really simple. Just put it on our nice chilled biscuit base and make sure that it's nice and even. So when we finish with the chocolate topping, it's all nice and straight. And you can see why now I used a deep tin. There is quite a fair bit of filling in this. It does make a really nice thick cheesecake. So we just get that whacked into there. And I will leave some scrapings behind in the bowl, because I have 2 girls and a birthday girl that are going to scrape that bowl clean. So just get the little last bit of scrapings out. Maya, come and get your scrapes. So they're going to go in there now and enjoy their scrapings. And I'm just going to level off the filling. And it looks like Lance is coming to steal a spoon to join in on the scrapings as well. So that just shows, guys, this is a really, really good cheesecake. Super easy, super simple, and super tasty. So we just flatten off. Don't worry too much if you get some around the edge there. We can always wipe that if you're worried about the presentation. But don't forget, we're going to have a chocolate layer on here as well. So that will hide some of those little imperfections there. So there you go, that's the filling done, and as you see that just took no time at all to do, with the base as well, no time at all. And all we need to do for the next step is to melt our chocolate and mix it with a little bit of coconut oil, again for the same reason as I did with the caramel slices, it just helps to cut the chocolate layer. So yeah, that's ready now to go back in the fridge, completely cool, probably for an hour or two, and then we can get onto the chocolate base. So the cheesecake is nice and chilled, it's been in the fridge for a couple of hours, and Maya just wanted to show off her new birthday presents. So she's just going to hold them up in front of the camera just quickly. So that's one of her new budgies. And where's the other one? And here is the other one.
Why does it like budgie bills?
And this is the original budgie that you've seen in some of the videos previous. And Sparrowy, who is Aspen's teddy from her grandma.
And this is the old one.
And where's Peacock?
Peacock.
And here is Peacock, and they're what she had for her birthday. Very pretty indeed, aren't they? Okay, so again, this part of the cheesecake is really easy. We have our chocolate in a bowl and our cream, and all we're going to do is pour our cream into our chocolate. And this is going to go in the microwave until it's all nicely melted. And then we just pop it on the top of the cheesecake. And other than the fact that it has to chill again, the cheesecake is actually finished. So I'm just going to pop this into the microwave and then we'll get it out. So here we are, we have the chocolate. Look at all of that yummy goodness. I mentioned earlier that you can put coconut oil in this. You actually don't need to do that because it has got the cream. But you know, if you want to put coconut oil in, then you can as well. But I'm not going to at this point. So all we need to do now is drizzle this all over the top of our cheesecake in a nice even layer. And as you can see now, we're going to get some really good layers. We've got the nice biscuit base, then we have the nice peanut butter filling, and then on the top we have this lovely creamy chocolatey topping, which will harden up in the fridge. So we just spread them around really carefully. We don't want to see the peanut butter layer through the chocolate, so be really careful as you are spreading it out. And turn the tin as you do so, it's just a little bit easier, and just pull the spoon over the top there. And that's looking pretty good. We will just scrape out the last little scraps of this. And if you wanted to get fancy with this, as this cools, you could, you know, drag a fork over there and do some little swirls or patterns on the top for presentation purposes. So anyway, that is the cheesecake ready to go back in. As you can see, it's looking pretty good already. So we're going to pop that in the oven. When it's completely cold, we'll take it out, we'll take the tin off, and we'll do the reveal. The cheesecake has come out the fridge and the chocolate's set nicely on there. And all I've done is just run a knife around the edge to hopefully loosen it up. And Elijah's just going to pop the cake tin now. Hopefully it'll work. And we'll see what we have. And there you go. So as you can see, you've got a nice biscuit layer, the nice thick PB filling, and the chocolate on the top. So all we're going to do is, before serving, take the bottom off there, and it's ready to go. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and you'll like and you will subscribe and you'll pass it all on to everybody else. And thank you for watching. Bye for now.